Hello again, and welcome to another episode of 1001 by 1, where each week we take a film out of the book, 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, discuss it, analyze it, and ultimately decide whether or not it should be in the book. My name is Adam St. John.
My name is Britt Reinhold Hobson.
That was fast. And I'm Joey. The way that came, it must be delayed. Britt said it over Adam. And I'm Joey Rogate.
Oh,
okay.
Weird, because it happened in time for me. So
that was so funny. I don't know. There's thunderstorms here, so maybe there's a quick before St. John was out. You were like, and I'm Britt Reinhold. I was like, oh,
well,
it's like,
listen,
she's just stepping on top. She wants to take up space today. Okay,
it's okay. And before we talk about
to take up space,
before we talk about Taxi Driver, before we talk about the King of Comedy, before we talk about Todd Phillips's Joker, we will give you some recommends per the usual. We didn't last time. We will today.
We were on a time crunch last time.
We were, and that's fair. But we're back to
and
the OG trio. And Britt, let's start with you. What are you recommending to pair with, or just in general, for this episode?
I usually like to do something that you can pair with something else, especially the movie that we're talking about. Usually it's the movie that we're talking about. Maybe I'll give two recommends and be like, this is a great double feature. But I kind of wanted to share another movie about a disillusioned man who kind of finds himself in a tough situation that is ultimately his doing. And so I really like Kiyoshi Kurosawa films. I've talked about Kiyoshi Kurosawa a lot. And I like that he has a really clear idea of the story he wants to tell. So recently he released a movie called Cloud that is on the Criterion Channel. And it's about a reseller who finds himself in a dangerous predicament when he screws over his customers. It goes to wild places. I really like it. I was with it the entire time. And by wild places, I was like, wait, we're going here now? And I was
Missouri?
Exactly. It was a lot, but I like it. I think it's a good movie, and I honestly think it's a good pairing with Joker. So I'm gonna go with Cloud. I know Joey's seen it, so
yeah, we saw it like the same day, I think, and it's good.
Yeah,
I like it. I think that's actually a good recommend for this. I think that's smart.
Thank you. Sometimes
Perfect.
I'm smart.
All the time, and I haven't seen it,
No.
so I haven't. I can't.
Well, get on it, Adam. What is wrong with you?
A lot. I have served time at Arkham Asylum. I shared a cell with Penny Fleck. I know all about.
This was a co-ed asylum.
It was.
Amazing.
Listen. As we can
Only
tell,
in Gotham.
1981 Gotham. There are no rules. They're just cutting services left and right. It's a little like living in America now.
Yeah, there's super rats. We have super rats here too.
Yes, and his name is JD Vance. Joey, what are you recommending?
He wishes he was a super rat. He's
Fair
so
enough.
much worse.
He's a micro rat.
He's the stuff super rats eat.
Yeah. Happily give him.
So I had a movie starring Joaquin Phoenix that I was going to recommend, but I talk about it all the time, and then you see things, and it just fits perfectly. So I am recommending a new movie by Curry Barker called Obsession.
Nice.
It was awesome. Big fan. Recommend everybody see it. Bear, the lead male, would be a huge fan of Joker for all the reasons Britt hates it.
Fair. Yes.
Hey, we don't know that I hate it. We have discussed that I could come out like swinging that this is the best movie I've ever seen.
But
you don't know.
I know. I always know. But yes, really would recommend it. I know Adam saw it. It's great. Indy Navarrete is amazing. But yes,
yeah,
Bear would latch onto Joker for all the wrong reasons.
I'm surprised there wasn't a Joker poster in it, like somewhere.
The movie is very smart. At no point is it heavy-handed, so wouldn't do that. A lesser director would have done it. But this guy, I'm so far in the Curry Barker phase, because you know what? I've listened to interviews with him. Me
too.
He doesn't want, again, a lesser director telling the story. This guy would have been Joker posters everywhere, but he crushed it.
I have not seen this movie, but I've seen so much around it, and I've listened to a lot of interviews with Curry Barker, and I really like his shorts. I really like Milk and Cereal a lot, so I was pretty excited that this movie was coming out, and I just didn't have time to go see it in the theater yet. But like everything I have read and listened to about it, I was like, if nothing else, it's so cool this movie not only was made but has been so successful. Like, hell yes.
And it gets fucking awesome. Gnarly at times. I mean, there are a couple of really fucking gnarly moments.
And I saw it Sunday night in like a very packed theater. And there was a couple times where it was just like, oh.
I was sitting. I know. I saw it Friday afternoon, and it wasn't packed, but it was full enough. And there was a guy sitting next to me, or like one seat between us, and something happens early on, and I like nervous laughed because I was like, holy shit. I think I opened up. I think people then realized, oh, we can do this. Because at one point the guy whispered, oh, fuck. And it's like, okay, good, great. This is what we need. We need people like commenting with the movie. Yes, Obsession is great.
Especially for that movie. Yes, 100%.
I love it. I think I'm going to go see it this weekend by myself on Sunday. I think I'm going to bring myself out to like a solo date at 10 a.m. in the morning to go see it. Nice. I did the same thing for The Substance, and it was an incredible theater going experience. So I feel like this is a good one to also do that with.
It's so good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm really excited. Like, great.
So as far as research goes for this movie, I wanted to look up just how Google defined what an incel was. So it was defined as members of an online subculture of individuals, primarily heterosexual men, who are unable to find romantic or sexual partners despite desiring them. Now, I'm not just saying that right now to be like cheeky, and I'm sure that'll come up as talking about Joker, but Joaquin Phoenix, at least by that definition, plays a kind of similar character in a movie I am going to recommend because I think it actually is really effective. And that movie is called Her. Had we done recommends on the Ex Machina episode, that was going to be my recommend. But you're strapped for time.
Okay.
But
that makes sense.
You know, the Joaquin Phoenix of it all, and the fact that he is somebody who is having a hard time connecting with people, and then obviously kind of makes a connection with this AI voice person. It's a really good movie. I hadn't watched it since it came out, and I was really charmed by it. I was really moved by it. It's very, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this about like the AI movie, but it's very spot on with, I think, some of the ways that people are using AI and chatbots right now. But I find Joaquin so charming and likable in the movie, and I'm saying all that too to think that I think he's got such a range, and I really do appreciate him as the performer, because I think he's got a lot of colors in his palette to use. So Her, Spike Jonze movie from 2013. A trilogy of one-word titles for a one-word title episode. Britt is recommending Cloud. Joey is recommending Obsession, although I definitely recommend that movie as well. And I am recommending Her. Okay.
I like that. I honestly think that would be a good triple feature right there. Maybe quadruple feature if we wanted to include Joker in that too. But
sure. What a hell of a day. Hell of a day. Yeah.
Ooh, what snacks would you like put with each of those films? That's what I want to know. Like,
oh, Jesus.
What would you do? Would Her go last so that we have some like happiness at the end of it, or would it be Obsession?
I think Obsession is last. I think.
Yeah.
I think
Cloud is
the end with Obsession, because you can't get out of Obsession.
Yeah.
Like you can't switch that hard.
Start with
Cloud.
Cloud.
You go Her, Cloud, Obsession.
See, I think it would be Cloud, Her, maybe Joker, then Obsession. But also we can leave Joker out of it. Like, that's fine too.
Well, it seems like collectively we've watched that movie enough recently in the last few days that it might be quite a while before the Joker revisit happens again. Okay.
3 times?
So normally I get through all the spiel and then we kind of get into the episode, but there are so many things that I want to talk about that I think this might be a little more parceled than normal. And I promise I'll get through all of the stuff that I normally get through, but there are going to be pauses and
do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, there are going to be tangents throughout. So
do you.
So the first thing I'm going to say is the movie that we are obviously talking about today is Joker. My first question right off the bat, is this movie even like 0.5% better if it's not a Joker movie? If it's not set in Gotham, if it's not about the Wayne family, and is it better at all?
I think if it's called Arthur and everything else is exactly the same, it is better.
I think if it's called Arthur and they take out everything to do with the Waynes,
but change the Waynes to the Bruces, just like the same story.
You don't even need to change the Waynes to anything. You can just keep that aspect out of it, and the mother could just talk about her employer.
Yeah,
but I think he needs to go.
I don't think
that's
so.
The start. I do. He needs you need the bathroom scene.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you, and that's okay. Again, art is subjective, and I think that's great, and that's why I love doing this podcast. But I actually think that putting the Waynes into this completely detracts from the story that we're trying to tell. Yeah, I think it still could be an interesting, like, let's be real. We are oversaturated with comic book movies. We are still going to continue to get comic book movies. And I think that this is a really interesting swing for a comic book film. It kind of like reminds me of Andor in a way that, like, Andor is a big swing for Star Wars because it does not follow the normal Star Wars beats. And that's what makes it interesting. And I feel like in a similar vein, you could say that about Joker. They're like, it takes a big swing, and that's good. Take big swings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I'm somewhere between you two. I think there are definitely like, I think the confrontation in the bathroom is one thing, but like visiting a young Bruce Wayne, it feels like we've got to fit the Gothamness of this world.
Putting his
into
fingers in his mouth.
That could go. I think the bathroom, the kid stuff, I'm good with losing. The two kids scenes, like that's fine. But the bathroom scene, I think, needs to happen.
Confronting the man who you think is your father when you find out. Okay. So I think, listen, this is just the first of many tangents. That I mean, they're all related.
I love a tangent. We all know that. I'm the tangent queen.
So this movie is directed by Todd Phillips. It was written by him and Scott Silver, produced by Todd Phillips, Bradley Cooper, and Emma Tillinger-Koskoff. Now, Todd Phillips. Let's talk about, I have a couple of things with Todd Phillips. My first is, and I want to start with Britt because I imagine this is a lower number. How many of the Todd Phillips movies have you seen?
5.
Oh, that is higher than I thought. So there you go.
Yeah.
5, I think. Let me see, because I've seen.
I'll run through the filmography. So who here has seen Road Trip?
Obviously,
okay,
on DVD.
Britt, no, okay,
no,
okay. Old School. I'm assuming maybe more hands going up here. Britt, you have not seen
in
Old
theaters
School.
Wednesday night at midnight. What?
It's not my type of comedy. Nothing's my type of comedy. But like,
19
honestly,
years old. I went at midnight the Wednesday night for the opening, and I will never forget it.
Maybe draft Old School for us.
Old School is
season after
funny.
Next because I've never seen it.
Yeah. Old School is great. If for nothing else, then every now and then I get a little bit terrified and see the fucking look in your eyes. It's worth it just for that. Okay. Then a questionable Starsky and Hutch.
I've seen that.
Remake. That movie is not good.
Oh.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad, but it was on Comedy Central every day for like 4 years.
It makes sense.
Of course it was.
Now, the only movie that he directed that I have not seen is called School for Scoundrels. Has anybody seen that?
He did School for Scoundrels?
John Heater and Billy Bob Thornton. It's the stupid Napoleon Dynamite guy.
So, Britt, it sounds a lot like the School for Scandal, which is like a restoration comedy, but it's not. It's School for Scoundrels, and I have not seen this. I have no idea.
I've heard of it, but I definitely haven't watched it because, again, I don't like comedies. So like,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That was another Comedy Central watch.
Now, I'm just going to broadly, these are 3 movies, but The Hangover.
I've seen 1 and 2.
I've seen them all in theaters, and I've seen them all like a million times since.
I've seen them all. I think that, and I went back to 1 and 2 fairly recently. 2 is weird. I like 1. I think 1 still kind of holds up for what it is.
1 time each.
Fair enough. Now, so I almost skipped one. So he did Due Date, which I don't like. I don't like this movie at all.
Didn't watch it.
Zach Galifianakis and Iron Man in.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. Fair. Now I did watch War Dogs, which I had not seen before prior to this movie, and I gotta say I enjoyed it for what it was. To me, it was what The Big Short and Vice want to be, but it didn't take itself as seriously. And I was on the wavelength with it. It was like diet The Big Short. I was like, I can get on board with this.
It's fun.
It's an easy watch.
It's fun and fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's fun and fine.
Yeah. But that
I'm probably not gonna watch it, but like,
it's not a necessary watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nobody's best movie.
And that brings us to Joker and then Joker Folie à Deux, which let's save any Joker Folie à Deux thoughts. We're going to save that for like the absolute tail fucking end of this episode.
Great. I do have thoughts.
Fair enough.
I do.
I
Both
forgot
in
that-
theaters. I have given Todd Phillip
So
a
much
lot of money.
So much money, man.
I forgot that I watched this movie. I forgot what happened in this movie. I forgot that Melissa and I covered this on Below Freezing. All of these are things that have happened. So there you go. Fair enough.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
this is the other thing that I want to bring up at the moment regarding Todd Phillips. So I watched the very hackneyed, very studio driven making of featurette that's on the 4K. It's pretty stupid, but Todd Phillips, and I am paraphrasing, but he basically says, I wanted to make a movie about the origin story of a villain. And that interested me. And then that was it. That's basically like
great.
That was all he said. I think that sentence, with really nothing else backing it up, is part of what really pisses me off about this movie. There really seemed to be no rhyme or reason why this movie came into existence. It didn't go in line with the DC movies that existed at the time, including a regrettable Jared Leto as the Joker performance. It really wasn't. It wasn't continued on. Like, there's no Phillips verse. There's no Joaquin Phoenix is back, and now we're really extending this world out. I mean, we get a glimpse. I mean, I said I wasn't going to do this, but like, it looks like Barry Keoghan was going to be the Joker in this world for 20 seconds, but that's a whole different thing. So,
but now he's cast in the second one, so that's not this Joker.
Yeah. Okay. So Todd Phillips will come up more as we go through this.
We have to talk about it more. The director of the movie?
Maybe. Okay, so
I will say, as many movies as I've seen of Todd Phillips, he is someone he's not an interesting person to listen to talk.
No.
Like we were talking about Curry Barker, like all these interviews, like super interesting and like where he's coming from. Todd Phillips, it's kind of like, I want to do a villain, and then somebody gives him money, and like that's kind of it.
I think that's the point of like his he talking in depth about this would be difficult because I don't think he had a lot below the surface that he wanted to say. Other than, oh no, it's really hard when people are woke. Like, it's he's a bit of a tough hang. And by a bit of a tough hang, I really hated listening to interviews with him. I was like, okay, get over yourself. Jesus fucking Christ.
See, I didn't even think he was interesting enough to be over on top of himself. Like,
I did. No, but that's the problem. He thinks he's that interesting, and he says the same thing in every single interview. And I'm like, all right, dude, we get it. You feel like you can't do comedy anymore. I don't know, make better jokes.
Be funny.
Guess
what?
Yeah,
if you're funny, everyone could do it. It's the stupidest thing ever.
It's easy to not be offensive to people.
I have a Todd Phillips thing, but it's gonna come up pretty soon, but I'm gonna wait. Okay, great. So the cast. Now let's just take a hard pause here, because I mean, basically every frame of this movie is Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, aka Joker. So again, I have like kind of two parts to this. One of which is, what are just your general Joaquin Phoenix thoughts in general? Like him as a performer. Do you like him? Do you not? What performances stand out? Like, what's your history with the man?
I'll go first, because why not? I really like old Joaquin Phoenix. Like Gladiator Joaquin Phoenix was my favorite. I personally think Commodus is like my favorite of his performances.
All-time villain.
Yeah, all-time villain. Incredible and so deep. Like there's so much going on with that character. As he's continued on in Hollywood, and the stories that I've heard about him on set, about how dangerous he is with his physicality, with the way that he acts towards actors, the way that he like literally in The Master, like destroyed a toilet that was an antique, and everyone's like, oh, he was so method. And I was like, no, that's dangerous. I've gotten less and less of a fan, just because I'm like, you're not existing in a world that's safe for the other performers around you. So like, I'm always going to be kind of anti that, because men can get away with it, but you hear about a woman being like, oh, that was actually not okay to do, and she's labeled as difficult and won't get work anymore. So that's my thing. I will say he's great in this movie. Like, before I even go any farther, he genuinely is fucking great in this film. He does a good job, and I think that it could have very easily become a caricature throughout most of it. I do have some issues with some of the specific performances in it, but I think he does a great job. I'll say that.
Great. And that was the kind of the second part, was the performance. So cool. And so Joey, I'll just go to you next.
Yeah, I mean, Gladiator was probably the first time I, remember seeing him, an all-time villain in that. And he became like a giant weirdo for a while. He was like, had the beard and was fighting on Letterman and doing weird shit. He made a documentary. Weird dude
or something like that. Yeah,
I don't care.
Casey Affleck.
But you know what? I've talked about Beau is Afraid more than was appropriate on this, how much I love it. But Eddington this year, like, come on. He's really, really good. He has a lot of range. Would I want to hang out with him? Zero fucking chance, even though his wife or girlfriend is her parents own the Giants. So, fully support
right.
the relationship, and I'd love to, but like, even that won't make me want to hang out with him. But, I don't want to talk to him, but man, when he's in something, I'm like, oh, it's going to be good, because he's great in this. Like, what, and it's whatever, the movie is what it is, but he's really good in it. And I just think he's a weird fucking guy. With the method acting, my whole thing is like, I think it's stupid. And if you, do what, my general kind of rule in life, do what works for you, but the second it impedes on anybody else, you're being a dick, stop. And that's with anything.
It did. Like, that's the thing. It 100% did. And it does in every single movie he does. Like,
I'm not arguing with you.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like, it's stupid. I just like it, like, when anybody does it. So, but you know what? To go, it's kind of this. Come on. Beau is Afraid, Eddington, and it's like, those are really different performances that are all.
Yeah.
And, I have not seen her since it came out. Like, I rented it on DVD when he came out, and I haven't seen it since. So, I liked him a lot, but I just don't, it's been so long. But he's been in some really good things and doing very different things that, he's not getting caught in one way, and he very easily could have always just been River Phoenix's younger brother, but he's kind of
True.
he got above it and is just really a great actor in his own right.
Yeah, and I, you know, I think what I think is interesting, and I think like Come On is probably the best example of this, because he hasn't really, you know, like I forget about him in like Signs, where he's just
yes, I loved him in
normal,
Signs.
yeah, like a normal
Right.
guy who is caught up in a kind of a sticky situation, but he's very easy to like see the world through his eyes, right? He's just kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, this is weird.
Right.
I agree, Joey. I mean, the range. I think the last few movies have been like really good and really different. And I agree on the performance. It's a totally committed performance. I forgot about this interview, and I went back and rewatched it like a couple hours ago. And I will say that he does this moment that happened, I felt really bad for him, because I've been in similar but not quite the same situation. So he's on Jimmy Kimmel trying to promote Joker, right? And he's not a great guest. He is very socially awkward. I think he'd be the first one to tell you that too.
Yes,
he's doing
definitely
100%. He's a socially anxious dude.
Yes, and he's doing his best to promote the movie. And Jimmy Kimmel is, you know, he's trying to be a comic late night host. He's making jokes. They're not really going over that well. And so
He's trying.
Jimmy Kimmel basically surprises Joaquin Phoenix with an outtake of the film in which Joaquin Phoenix is trying to be in character, doing something, but like he's getting stuff from off camera. He's like, guys, will you let me try to do this? And like he's having a moment and he can't quite get into character. And eventually he goes like, can we stop? I got to stop. And he walks off of screen, and like they cut back to Joaquin Phoenix, who looks mortified that he had to watch this, but not from the sense that like he felt like he did something wrong, but like in the sense of like, why is this being shown? And I will say there is definitely a part of me that's like, if I'm in a rehearsal room and I'm trying something, if somebody was to like take a moment that didn't work from a rehearsal process and then show it to the world, I would also be
that
like
sucks.
fucking
shitty,
like petrified. So I do feel bad at like trying to be in a difficult role where you're being asked to do a lot. If you're being like, what are not the bounds in terms of like what's safe or not, but like in terms of like, when is your director going to let you like go for it if that's what you're being asked to do or not? And I don't think that Todd Phillips was a competent enough director to direct a complicated role like this.
No, not at all. Also, I just
and
do
somebody
want to say,
who's that like a force. Like
we
Phoenix
shouldn't.
when he gets moving.
We shouldn't be showing like rehearsal things. I think that's totally inappropriate, like for that to be an outtake. If it was like a silly outtake, sure, where he was like, ah ha ha, that's funny, whatever. But for like as an actor, I don't want people to see where I'm failing, right? Like that would be disappointing and upsetting to me. There are many interviews, especially with Zazie Beetz, where she would talk about Joaquin just walking away for the rest of the day and not communicating with her. And Todd Phillips would just be like, he's just having a moment and needs some time. And that is inappropriate. And that for me, I think is like, as an actor, if my scene partner just went, this isn't working, and left and didn't like, could not even be adult enough to say, I need to take some time for myself and just leave. That's upsetting, because he didn't do that with Robert De Niro. He only did it with like Zazie Beetz and some of the other actors. So he's obviously capable of communicating with somebody who he probably has a bit more esteem for. But when he's the highest on the call sheet, he's okay with just walking away. And that's where I get like weirded out by it. That's where I'm like, dude, get over yourself. And if you can't get out of your head enough to play a character like this and still be able to communicate with your fellow actors, maybe don't play these roles. Like, you had a great performance, but if you can't differentiate that, you shouldn't be playing these roles. That's dangerous. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I got on a high horse there. I apologize.
It might be shitty, but
It is shitty. It's really
whatever.
shitty.
Do what you got to do.
No, it's
Like,
not
that's
whatever.
not
It's
gonna-
not whatever.
That doesn't
It's
bother
not
me.
okay. It's so inappropriate. Zazie
Sure.
Beetz is way younger, had way less on her resume, and then just had to like sit there and be like, I guess Joaquin Phoenix is just going to go away. Fine. Like totally
Yeah.
inappropriate. And for Todd Phillips to not be like, yeah, that's inappropriate. I'm sorry. And for him to be like, Joaquin just has his own way of doing things. Like that just proves he wasn't capable of directing this person.
Yeah. So
that I agree with, but that's not happening on Eddington. But like, there's enough annoying stuff he does for, not communicating with people.
Yeah.
So
not his strength.
let's talk about some of the supporting cast, because I think that the three to immediately kind of get to is that Robert De Niro is in this movie as Murray Franklin, Zazie Beetz as Sophie, and Frances Conroy as Penny, Arthur's mother. Now there are a ton
So many
of
people.
supporting characters who are in a couple of scenes, but I feel like as far as characters go who are in multiple important scenes, those are kind of the three. Now, when I was taking notes for the movie, I kept just having to write Zazie, because do they say the name Sophie in the movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either, which is already telling you something about the screenplay.
Oh yes.
Which again, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for now. But I don't.
Is this going to be a 3-hour episode? I feel like
I don't know.
is.
I don't know.
God.
But it's 30 minutes in, and I haven't even gotten to one of two lists yet. So,
I'm gonna go for two. lists.
But
oh
I wanted
God,
to.
Fuck yeah! I was hoping you doubled down on the list.
No, it's okay. It's great.
Fuck
but
you.
I wanted to ask.
Adam's just gonna walk away and not communicate.
Were there?
Yes.
Jesus
I'm gonna pull.
Christ.
Actually, I'll pull Joaquin Phoenix.
I'll be like, oh, he texted me. We're fine.
Okay, Todd Phillips. That's who you want to play in this? Wow, that's a choice.
Makes sense. I think it actually makes sense. Are there supporting performances outside of those kind of four that you want to shout out now? I mean, and if they come up later, that's fine too. But I figured I'd just kind of give a moment to like see who else comes to the front.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
kind of the one.
Yeah, he's so good.
That's the best.
Like,
he's great in it too. He's awesome.
It's one of my favorite scenes.
It is
them
my
fighting
favorite.
over
It's my scene of the movie.
One, how much it
hell
reveals. It reveals so
Yes.
much, but them fighting over the thing just looked like an absolute blast. I loved it.
Well, and it's one of the only performances in the movie where I feel like it's somebody who is on par with Joaquin Phoenix and also showing a lot of empathy towards Arthur and flipping so quickly. And it's like
he realized it all. Yeah, like
Yes.
watching him put things together. He's just such a great
he's
actor.
so good. I want him in
So
everything.
watching him get to just like, they're like, all right, you're going to be in there with Joaquin. That's all you're doing. So keep up. And he does and knocks it out of the park.
He not only keeps up, but then Joaquin has to start like really trying to keep up with him. It's awesome. It's like such an interesting it's an interesting showcase of status and how status goes back and forth between people in a scene. Yeah. I love it.
That's awesome.
Great choice, Adam.
Yeah. I like Zazie Beetz a lot in this because she does a lot. She's kind of, the whole thing at the end, but I like her a lot in this.
I want to really like her. I really do. I like Zazie Beetz. I just feel like, and I get it, there's a lot of reasons why people would say that the character isn't fully realized because like it's all in Arthur's head. Spoilers.
It doesn't exist.
But I also
think
think
that
fully
realized.
You can, but I think you can have a fully realized character in Arthur's head. Like I think they could have done a lot more with that.
Not for Arthur.
No, I think that's just poor writing. Like it's honestly poor writing and Todd Phillips not being able to write a female character. That's my feeling on that. So, oh no, did I give my hand away too early?
No,
Do we know how I feel about this film?
No, you're good. No, well, okay. Anyways, more to come. Okay, so
more to come.
Accolades. The Academy Awards. This leads me to finally getting to say, hey, do we like lists? Huh?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And you have two, and I'm offended.
I do have two. The second one will go fast, I promise.
Will
but like
it?
It will. So I did have a hard time with lists. because I was stupid enough to just go best incel movies, which really doesn't exist.
I could have made you that list.
There's like
my
an
God.
unranked list of movies, and I was like,
your algorithm is destroyed.
My algorithm is exactly where I want it to be right now. But
Benny's Video, Joker.
Yeah. So where I decided to go was in February of this year, right before the latest Academy Awards ceremony that we had. Rolling Stone ranked all of the best actor winners of the 21st century. So I will say that I'm going to read the top 10. Because of when the list came out, Michael B. Jordan does not exist on this list like now. Just before the Oscar.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that's where we are. Now I will read the 10. If you're curious about where anybody else might be, if you remember, I will tell you, but I'm just going to read the 10 as we have because
I don't know. So
fair enough.
We don't need to do 25.
At 10, and the reason in which I bring up the list is Joaquin Phoenix for Joker.
Okay.
So here are the rest of the top 10. At number 9, Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer. At number 8, Anthony Hopkins in The Father.
Okay, he was very good in that movie.
I actually think it could be a little higher. Personally,
it's that movie I will never watch again.
It's
but his
tough.
performance was top notch.
Another, I think the person is questionable, but the performance I find to be quite good. At number 7, Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea.
Oh, boo.
It's an unbelievable performance.
I really like this performance.
No.
Great performance. Yeah, no. I think I love that movie. Love that performance.
Hate that movie.
Well, listen, we have too much to talk about, so I'm going to stop you right now, both of you. Number 6, we have a bit of a double whammy here because at number 6 we have Adrian Brody in The Pianist, and at number 5 we have Adrian Brody in The Brutalist. Both of those making the top 10. I'm okay with one, not the other, and we'll maybe leave that where it is. Number 4, a movie that I know we all like. Number 4, Russell Crowe, Gladiator.
In Gladiator Forever.
Number 3, I don't think the three of us have talked about this movie, but I did finally listen to an episode of a podcast that Britt was on that took me like 5 years to listen to. Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln coming in at number 3.
Here's the thing. It's a good performance.
It is a good performance. I'm not
really good performance.
Yeah. And the top 2, I feel like for the most part are 2 that most people don't question as like good performances of this century. Number 2, we have Philip Seymour Hoffman as Capote in Capote, and at number 1 we have Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. Those are.
Wouldn't it be really funny if I was like, actually, There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis overrated? Like.
Britt, that is exactly the kind of take I could hear you say. Like absolutely.
No.
Yeah, I'd be like, of course Britt thinks that.
No, I actually really like There Will Be Blood. So
you're like, taking oil's bad, so that movie sucks.
I will.
Yeah, I only like movies about people that agree with me and my own like moral compass. That's me.
I will say that the lowest ranked of the Best Actor winners was Jean Dujardin in The Artist, which is just incorrect because the actual lowest should be Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody. As far
obviously.
I assume Rami Malek's second to last.
No, he is 22, so he's not.
What?
Yeah,
Who's behind him?
Yeah,
Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart at 24, and Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour at 23.
Okay, I can kind of see The Darkest Hour, but I still
those
think
are like the final 3. But Rami Malek is
Rami Malek. Come on,
no, we're on the same page there. Okay, so my other list is a list that I created because it links back to the Oscars of this year, of 2019. So I have
incel movies in the Oscars.
Yes, all incel Oscar movies. And it's basically just this and then all of Scorsese's films. No. Okay. So So, and I like
Crazy,
Scorsese.
man. Me
okay,
too,
so
but
I have ranked the 9 movies that were up for Best Picture this year.
okay.
Here we go. And I'm going to go from best to worst. Joey, what's that look? Get that look off your face. What are you doing?
I love this. What are you talking about? I'm in.
You look like...
I'm gonna be honest, Joey. You looked so incredulous right then. You were like, "What the fuck you doing, man?" I loved it.
Okay.
No, I'm pumped.
Here we go. And I will
say,
say,
I was thinking of my list.
Outside of 2 films on this list, I have watched all these movies in the last like 7 days. So I've seen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. So
No
number
wonder you're
one,
tired.
Number one, well, I was also in a hotel. Like I was at a not very fun conference for 2 days. Like I'm fine. Okay. Number one, no brainer, Parasite. Absolutely the best film of the bunch. Number 2, gets better and better the more I watch it. A certain director who a lot of people have their qualms with, but this is his sweetest movie. It grows in my estimation. It is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, coming in at the 2 spot.
Okay.
Number 3, a movie that ripped my heart out and showed it to me because I forget just how emotionally devastating some of these scenes are, and that would be Marriage Story. Marriage Story coming in at number 3.
I
didn't love Marriage Story, but okay.
I was okay with it.
It was fine.
I like it
Good
more
performances.
than Hollywood. So.
Britt, I knew you were going to be okay with that one, but that's okay. 4 and 5
no,
were
not at all.
Really
you know
tough.
it.
4 and 5 were really tough, and I might just have to lean into the fact that I like a war movie over this other one, but it's really close. Number 4 is 1917, and number 5 is Little Women. Those are really, really tough. I watched the Greta Gerwig version in my room Monday night, and I hadn't seen it since it came out, and it's so good. It's really
so
fucking good.
It is the way to adapt a movie and make it relevant for current days. It's beautiful. We watched it. My mother-in-law wanted to watch a period piece, and I went, well, have you seen Little Women by Greta Gerwig? And she hadn't, and we watched it, and she even liked it, and she doesn't like any new adaptation. So I was very excited about that.
It's a good movie.
Now, so good.
1917 is better.
6 and 17.
It's not. It's a gimmick. But...
6 and 7 were close, and I actually was surprised that I switched here. But number 6, total dad movie, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. Ford versus Ferrari really holds up. What an entertaining movie that is. It just is
fine. It's fine. I don't have any problems with it.
Number 7 is a movie that I still really like.
Vroom.
Adam loves his vroom vroom movies. That's for sure.
Well, sure. The Irishman comes in at number 7. I'm sure that's much higher for some people than others, but that's what's coming there.
Not for me.
I have 2 movies left, and I will tell you that coming in at number 8 is Joker. Because coming in at number 9 is actually a movie that I think I really liked when I first watched it, and then watched it again, and I was like, I don't think this is good at all. And that would be Jojo Rabbit. I have Jojo Rabbit coming in at number 9.
I forgot about that movie.
If you want to talk about a gimmick movie, Jojo Rabbit is kind of a gimmick movie. It's like, what if Nazis were funny? And Taika Waititi was Hitler. So yeah.
There's that. Watch it. I would have Joker over The Irishman, and what was the one you had before Irishman?
Ford versus Ferrari.
And Ford versus Ferrari. I think it's and Jojo Rabbit.
I can't say about Jojo Rabbit because I only watched it once and I really enjoyed it when I watched it. I would say that I would probably put Joker above both of those films as well. Which is me giving it a little bit of praise, you guys.
Well, listen,
which is
it's a great performance. I think it's great cinematography.
Here's the thing. I have a whole section that is the good of this film. I do. You know, and I have an opinion that I think you both will appreciate.
Well, I think
like Joker.
That was
the problem with Joker is it's not the 80th best movie ever, right?
No.
It ends up in this place where it doesn't belong, but I like it.
And we should say to finally bring the gimmick.
Oh my God, I'm so
full
excited.
Circle.
Full circle.
As of this moment, and Joey, you at least had the first number right.
Are we gonna guess?
Oh, well, yeah. I kind of gave it away a little bit, but
well, I already had it. I literally can screenshot. I have it at. I'm assuming it's at 88 right now. That's what I've decided. I'm assuming.
Okay, and Joey,
I'm gonna go 83.
Okay,
83.
It is at least as of this morning. It is at 89.
I was so close.
Oh wow!
Oh, good job, Britt.
So it is. It can't be on the National Film Registry. It has not been out long enough. So
that's what I thought. I have that written down. Isn't it like 10 years or something?
Yeah, it's not long enough.
So we're not there yet. And hopefully
it might
never.
Make it,
although I did read in some of the research that it was screened at the White House, and apparently Trump really liked it. So there you go.
I am surprised he has not made himself AI Joker. Like, what are we like? I did not know that, but obviously
AI Jesus, but also Joker. Like he's Joker being Jesus.
And unless anybody had any like critical things to read, we kind of get into the core part of the episode. But I did actually want to start kind of where you were going, which was what were the parts of the movie that we enjoyed? Because it's clearly not like the worst piece of shit ever to be made.
No. And that's actually my hot take from rewatching this. So as we know, and as people who've listened to the podcast before, I've talked about how much I dislike this movie. And I've gone on record saying that many times. And sometimes I play it up because it's just a little bit more fun to be chaotic and bratty, right? It's just more fun to be that person.
Yeah, of course.
I really did try hard to go into this movie with a clean slate. I haven't watched it since it came out, and I'm pretty sure I watched it on a plane. So I was like, I should give this the time to germinate. I want to know what this is about. And I would say, like, one of the things I love about being on 1001 by One is that I get the opportunity to look at movies a lot more critically than I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been doing this for 3 years. So when I don't like something, I'm like, all right, let's decipher what it is that I don't like about it, because it's not just movie bad because I don't like it, right? There has to be some reason. And one thing that I've kind of discovered about this whole thing is I think people who love it so much that they're going to go on a rant to you why you should like this movie, and people who hate it so much that they're going to go on a rant about how bad it is, are both in the same camp, and they need to just chill the fuck out. Like, I don't love this movie. I tried. I've watched it 3 times. I don't love it, but there are aspects about it that are really good. And I can recognize that. Like Joey said, the cinematography is beautiful. The production design is amazing. The lighting in this movie, holy fucking shit. I love looking at moments of it. And then the dialogue starts and I go, oh no, maybe if this had just been a silent film, I would like it a lot more. Because I think it really is clunky and bad in dialogue and in characterization and a lot of other things we can go into. But there are technical aspects that are really good in this movie. And I will give that to it. And I also have Joaquin Phoenix is good. Genuinely great performance.
I forgot how many Academy Awards the movie was nominated for. It was up for 11 Academy Awards, including 2 which are going to come up, director and adapted screenplay, which are that's not good. We've heaped a ton of praise on Joaquin. It is a totally committed performance, and I think it's a good rightful win. The other win is Hildur Guðnadóttir's score, and I really like it. It's very moody and it's very abrasive, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like the All Quiet on the Western Front score, and I get it. Like that is either grating or it's perfect. Like I think like those are the 2 kind of camps you're in, and I really dig this score.
Yeah. I will say one of my takeaways from this go around watching was how much I love the score.
Yeah.
Like it really worked. And there was The one scene where, I love the way it's shot, where after he's running away from the train, where you see a shadow, you see the city in the background, then you see the train, you see a shadow. Yep. It's one of my favorite. It's like my shot of the movie.
That's my shot of the movie too.
That is fucking unbelievable.
Yes. You just keep bringing up all of your shots and scenes and everything before you get the opportunity to.
I think that's the best shot in the movie, but it's also and that was, I saw this movie twice in theaters. But I saw it once and I saw it
Joey. Are you okay?
Joey watches things a normal amount of times. It's okay.
Fair.
That's actually
that's
very normal for Joey. If he had said 8 times, I might be worried. But
I'm not a big double dipper into theaters, so that's rare. But whatever, it happens. But I hadn't watched this in a while at this point, and that was like the one scene I was like, oh, I hope that shot. I was like, I hope that looks as good as I remember, because I really love that. But the score, I was like, oh my god, the score is amazing here.
Score's fine. I felt like it was a little too much in certain aspects, but I also think that's coupled with like scenes that, Todd Phillips was rewriting scenes and adding scenes day before, which I think is very obvious from the film that we're watching. And so, my scene of the movie is obviously when he's dancing on the stairs and then gets hit by a car, because that stunt is just like fucking bonkers. And the only moment that I laughed out loud and went, oh my God, while watching this movie. And I was like, damn, this would have been so much more poignant and so much more interesting if we didn't get 5 separate, just slow scenes of Joaquin Phoenix dancing to sad music. Like
and that's true. And it's funny. I wish I could tell you that it the score was the problem there, but the pretentiousness of Todd Phillips thinking that this was like an important movie.
I watched somebody's review of it that I personally, it's the one that made me feel like, okay, you need to just calm the fuck down. Like, yeah, I don't like it, but also to say what you're saying about it and not give it any artistic merit is like kind of ridiculous, because the cinematography is so, it's just untrue. Yeah. You're just finding reasons to hate it. Right. But they did bring up, they did bring up certain aspects of Todd Phillips like choices and saying that it was akin to like a student film. And I was like, I actually see that in these moments. I do fully see that as like a director who's trying something but doesn't quite know how to do it.
Well, I think the biggest issue with this movie is it's so serious that it thinks it's saying something about all the things it brings up, but all it is just kind of showing you these things and not then taking it to the next step, which if the movie wasn't taking itself seriously, I don't have an issue with. Like, that's not what you're going for. But here you're clearly trying to get to that next step, right? You're trying to make the point about mental illness. You're trying to make the point about this and all like 7 different points, but there's just, you're not able to get there. You can't not get there and still take yourself as seriously as you do, because the reality is, if Joaquin Phoenix didn't give an unbelievable performance in this same thing, we're not talking about this.
We're not
today.
talking about this movie.
So I there are 2 movies that are frequently listed as the movies that Joker was cribbing from. Now, I'm gonna pause there because I want to get to those in a second. But as I was watching the movie, 2 other movies came to mind. And I don't think that these are, I would feel like it's safe to say that Todd Phillips was not pulling from these, but I couldn't help but think of them as I was watching. Because one of the things that this movie does is it is so relentlessly negative. It is just heaps of terrible things that this guy, there is no moment of levity, of something good happening in this guy's life. It is a person going through continuous trials and tribulations of things that are just awful
for his whole life, as we find out from day one.
And so in that respect, and laugh, scoff, do whatever you want to here. In one way, this movie reminds me of The Passion of the Christ. where this is just 2 hours of watching somebody get the shit kicked
All right,
out
Todd
of him.
Phillips.
No. But hear me out. Do you know what I mean? The whole movie's about watching somebody just
No, I'm joking.
shit
I'm listening.
on
I'm just like,
for the entirety of the movie. And like, there's not even really a narrative objective in Joker, just like there really isn't a narrative objective in Passion of the Christ. It's just, look at this person, just go here in this scene, you're getting the shit kicked out of you. In this scene, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. And it's just all of this relentless shit.
Oh, Joker's fully a Christ allegory, but like the Antichrist, right? Like I think that's legit.
Well,
like,
just the flip side, but yes. And then
in this film in particular, like
Yes.
this movie, and the way that people have latched on to this character.
Oh, and I mean, he's pulled out of the car at the end in a very crucifix Christ-like pose. Absolutely.
It was so subtle.
And
Todd
then
Phillips, subtlety king.
the other movie that this made me think of, because, and Joey, you mentioned this, right? Like, okay, well, why would Arthur Fleck be this way, right? Well, it must be because, of childhood trauma. And it must be because nobody likes him at work. And it must be because he's a failing stand-up comedian. And we get all of these reasons why Arthur must be a maladjusted, terrible person. And it's too many things. The movie is trying to over-explain why Arthur Fleck is the way that he is. And in that respect, this movie made me think of Elephant, in which we see our two guys. Maybe they're picked on at school, and maybe they play violent video games and listen to bad music. And maybe, and this one is the thing in the movie, maybe they're gay. And maybe that's a thing that they're dealing with too. And I'm like, Gus Van Sant in an 80-minute movie is basically going like, oh yeah, it's all of these things. All of these things are the reasons.
That movie stinks, but great connection there. I actually fully agree with the issues of like just overload the problems with no substance or anything to it. It's just like, haha, like dartboard it's a trauma dartboard without any substance. I agree.
And I also would say that because one of my biggest issues with this movie is that I think it lacks a thesis. Like, I don't know what this movie is trying to tell me.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm supposed to learn from this film or what I'm supposed to feel from this film, or what other than woke culture is rough. And maybe that is why you're maybe the woke agenda is holding you back. I really think that with Elephant also lacks a thesis. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's actually kind of a dangerous film. Because it's not teaching us anything. This isn't teaching us anything either. Like,
I
don't need Todd Phillips teaching me shit, but I do need the person writing it to have a point of view.
No. So like, here's the thing. Go back to Aristotle. Theater is supposed to be to teach and to entertain, right? And if you are going to make a movie that's not political and put a fuck ton of political messaging within it, you better have a purpose for that. And in this movie, there is no purpose. It was just like, what if we had riots? Because that would be a cool ending. But then say, no, it's not supposed to be political. Have a character that says they're non-political. And then at the end, when they're supposed to be their most incoherent, make a very coherent speech about why everybody is going for the just really shooting down the little man and we got to go up against the big guys keeping us down. I will say my favorite line is when he says something about like he uses werewolf as a verb. Like, that's really cool. That was the one line that I was like, yeah, I like that. That was cool. But like it's totally irresponsible. And I think that Elephant is irresponsible in a similar way. Like, you take these themes, you take these ideas, but you refuse to do anything with it except for to showcase it. And that's irresponsible. You're taking very dangerous things. And I can't abide by that. I think that's awful.
And some of the reviews and some of the people who admired the performance, like when they commented, they, a movie of the time and a forewarning of mental illness. And I was like, what are we forewarning? Like, and like the way that this movie tries to paint Arthur Fleck as this, this guy who's just like, if people just understood him, he'd be okay. And it's like, but that's not really what's going on here.
But at no point is that what's happening, though.
No.
And that's the whole thing. Like, listen, I think it's easy to say some things, but if you don't say why this is important, you're just, I don't know if it's capability or cowardice. I don't know. But it's ultimately, it just falls flat. Like, pick a lane and say what you got to say.
Well, there's also a bunch of, I think, it's based on it's based on The Killing Joke, which I personally, I read some of it. I didn't read all of it. I didn't love it. I watched some of the movie and I thought it was pretty bad. So I was like, whatever, this is fine. But it is based on that comic, which is what basically everybody bases their Joker backstories on, because it's so interesting, where it's like, anybody can have a really, can become a villain if they just have one really, really bad day. And we just see all of Arthur Fleck's really, really, really bad days. But think of if this movie had been about, I don't know, him wanting to have fame because, he wants to be a comedian, realizing he can get fame through the media and going, oh, if I keep killing people, I'm going to get famous. Because that's actually what some killers do. I
mean, that's more interesting. I think if this all happened, if this was like a One Crazy Night movie, that'd be amazing.
That would be cool.
Like, just because I like The Killing Joke. I think the movie is flawed but like the actual
I think
comic,
fine.
whatever, I think is awesome.
I think it's fine. It's
the
pretty
movie,
sexist, but
they had too much.
Fine.
I mean, it's a comic book. I assume they're all sexist.
I know, but I'm allowed to want better for
Oh no, the
Barbara.
sexist thing is sexist. But
yes, I'm allowed to want better for the female characters, okay? I can call it out.
Sure. But I think it's interesting, but to do that, there has to be positive, right? Because in The Killing Joke, he has a wife, he has kids who love him. Like, there's people who love him. So that's why the switch is so extreme, and that's why I think it's effective. Here, it's just guy shit on every day of his life finally kind of gets to where the stereotypical end result just so happens he does it very publicly in a loaded time. It just, say what you got to say.
Yeah.
So it's like, so a couple things. The one, if you look at some of the if you read the Wikipedia page, right, you hear Joaquin Phoenix wanted to do a character study, and Todd Phillips wanted to do a character study, and it happened to coalesce around Joker, and they were like, well, we're not going to keep any of the lore. We're gonna intentionally, pick and choose what we want to do, which is like, okay, then why does that have to be a Joker movie? And it's a Joker movie only because it means money from Warner Brothers, and it means money to make the movie. I now have to bring
Warner
up,
Brothers and DC money. You double dip a little bit.
I now have to bring up the spiritual director of this movie, which is Martin Scorsese.
Yes.
Now, I rewatched Taxi Driver. I also watched King of Comedy for the first time.
I watched King of Comedy for the first time too.
I've never seen King of Comedy. I tried to. I didn't get there.
I will say, once you've seen those two movies, and let's just say let's just throw in like Goodfellas, just for a third, you will understand that the common criticism of did Todd Phillips just crib Scorsese? The answer unofficially is yes.
100%.
Because so if we I like to look at this from three different angles. One is the incel character. So the Travis Bickle guy, the lone gunman, the guy who thinks he's going to fix all of society's problems, thinks he has a connection with a woman. He doesn't have that connection. The Travis Bickle part is very clear.
Yeah.
And now let's go back to Todd Phillips for a second. So one thing about Scorsese is that I think a lot of people consider him to be one of the best users of needle drops in movies, right? It's something that I think is him and Tarantino are very, very aligned in that way. Like they take music and they use it in the movie pretty well. The needle drops in this movie, unfortunately, are only used ironically. They are ever only used they're not there to add flair or add panache. It's just, isn't this ironic? When the rock and roll part 2 or whatever comes on, I was like, I wanted to vomit. I was like, this is really fucking stupid. Like, we're like, because what, he's gearing up to go fucking shoot Murray in the head. Like, it's like all of the needle drops are like
Murray.
they're all unfortunately used ironically. But that comes back to the king of comedy, which I gotta say, I really enjoyed. I really dug this movie.
Damn it.
And the thing about it that I find so interesting is when Rupert Pupkin goes on The Late Show and does his bit, he fucking kills it. Like, and it's a comment on what sells, because Britt, you said some serial killers kill for fame.
Yeah.
Rupert Pupkin gets on air, is funny, goes to jail for a little bit, but comes back and then gets his own. Well, I'm spoiling it, but whatever, Joe. I don't give a shit. I
don't think Joey's going to care. He's still going to watch it.
He gets his own.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
And it's a real comment on like,
yes,
what we will do for fame, right?
Yes.
And I thought that was really cool. That was a really interesting thing to say. But when you're throwing all of these things into the stew, and then he ends up being so bad at comedy. It's another thing. It's like, oh, well, let's add this to the shit sandwich. Arthur Fleck wants to be a comedian, and he's really fucking bad at it.
Wouldn't it have been interesting if he actually was good? Like, because, okay, this is
like just amazing.
Yeah, this is one of my biggest issues with like Travis in Taxi Driver. We don't know how to feel about Travis through most of the film, because like you start out being like, oh, this man's got it rough. And then as it continues on, you're like, there is something seriously wrong with this man.
Right.
And by the end of it, what happens, what he commits is we're scared. Like, I am truly horrified with what's on screen. And one of the issues I have with this movie is at the end when spoilers, when he shoots Murray, people are cheering and saying, yeah, we got behind Joker. And I'm like, wait, I'm sorry. That's what we're supposed to be. This is a villain origin story. We're supposed to want this to happen? Because I didn't. I thought it was very boring, to be perfectly honest. I was like, oh, okay, he's going to kill someone. Wouldn't it have been so interesting if he was nailing his comedy? If we're like, yeah, we can kind of get behind this guy. And then we're just totally turned off by the violence that he is committing. I think that would have been so much more interesting. Or even to do a Man Bites Dog, where you kind of are supposed to ask, how are you culpable in watching something like this, right? And again, that's asking a lot out of Todd Phillips, and I don't think he's capable of handling that type of material. But when you're doing a movie like this, when you're doing a movie that is a commentary that's not a commentary according to you, maybe get some people in that can understand the nuance, because it's dangerous. It doesn't work.
You know, as you're talking, what I'm thinking about is if he's invited on the show because of that, he's good at comedy and he's not the joke. Because that scene, you know, I think he's very good in that scene. It's very abrupt.
Yeah.
And I like the way he sits and just like hangs while everyone freaks out. Like I
agree. I think it's great. I wish it built up to that more though.
If he wasn't there as the butt of the joke and he was there because he like this out of nowhere stand-up comic while also this Joker thing was going on the side, it would have been way more effective. Because you know what I do like a lot? The subway scene between the stairs and the show, I think is really good. And like I think Shea Wiggum is awesome in it.
Oh, I really like
Bill Camp. Yeah.
Yeah. The most useless detectives in the world.
But they're perfect for that scene. And in the subway scene where they're still just trying and just not realizing the danger that it is. And then they just kind of get sucked up into the crowd. The mask on the mask is hysterical to me. But like if he was there for that, I think it's a very abrupt. I think it's very well acted, but it lacked you needed one more step.
What if that was the beginning of the movie? Like, what if we followed him instigating this riot?
Now, so that gets at the part of what makes, and I know King of Comedy is probably not in most people's pantheon of Martin Scorsese films, but like the thing about King of Comedy and Taxi Driver that make those movies to me more watchable and kind of fascinating to dissect is we know a little bit about Travis Bickle. Rupert Pupkin, we know fucking nothing. We know
Nothing about.
And that's what makes it so.
That's
so when he like, we know he's obsessed with the Jerry Lee Lewis character, but otherwise we're like, who is this guy? Which then makes, when he's good at stand up, you're like, wait a minute, this guy's good at this? I didn't see that coming. But this movie does so much. There's so much exposition. There's so much trauma dumping that it's like,
well,
there's no room left to interpret anything in the movie.
No, there's no room to interpret. But then also Arthur's motivations are super vague and inconsistent. Like, which again, people can say like that's the character. It's supposed to be vague and inconsistent.
No,
I'm like, no, it should be. We should know.
I totally agree. I mean, one of my least favorite moments in the movie is when and I actually want to get the character names right because I don't want to when Randall and Gary come to visit Arthur at his place.
When he's getting ready.
Yes. So he kills Randall. With the scissors, and that happens.
Honestly, great. I like that scene.
Randall was a dick.
Good.
Yeah.
But then, like
awful clown makeup, the thick beard. Like, what are we doing?
But what are we doing?
But then he scares Gary. He boos him, and I'm like, Gary, this was the one guy who was nice to you, and you're gonna scare him after you've stabbed a guy in the neck and bashed his head in repeatedly?
And then also apparently not care about fame, but also be like, you're not gonna watch me on the show? What? I'm gonna be honest, you guys. This discussion is not where I expected it to go at all, and it's so much fun.
Well, Britt, when I gave it the heart on Letterboxd, you instantly were like fuck you, Adam. You had written me off. Like,
did I like screenshot it and send it to you? Because I almost
right away. I almost five started just to then. I was like, no, I don't star what we're covering, but
no, you don't. And I didn't star it this time, but I did leave a review, which I can read.
The problem is that as much as I think this is one of the most atrocious screenplays. I just really do. I don't quibble with Joaquin's performance, and then I think all of the surrounding technical elements are really good. So it's like I gave it a heart, but not a star rating because I'm like, I don't even know how to rate this movie. I like it because I enjoy the performance and the spectacle, but like otherwise, the screenplay is really bad.
My Letterboxd review is this movie is a mess. Edit. I do really like the lighting. That's about it. And it's true. Like, yeah. The lighting is really good. Again, the technical aspects of this movie are fantastic. So yes, I can understand when people are like, is this an homage to Scorsese or are we just ripping off Scorsese? Which, to be perfectly honest, I don't really care that much because everything is just a regurgitation of another story that's being told that has already been told. So like, if you're doing something new with it, fine. Even if you're not, if you do it well, I don't really care. Like,
and
it's also fair.
Because Britt, because I've been traveling a lot, so I've had a lot of time to listen to stuff, and I listened to your movie, The Needle episode, and the whole concept of it, right? Like,
Movie The Needle guys are the best.
They're so great.
It's one thing to think about, like, oh well, this movie is kind of like this movie and this movie if they got together and they had a baby, right? And that's fun. That's fun to go, oh yeah, I could see that. I think the problem though is that like in this scenario, it feels so cheap, and it feels like the only reason outside of Joaquin Phoenix that we're talking about this movie is because it's called Joker.
Agreed.
That's the whole thing.
And because it had really good costuming at the end. Like, I know a lot of people, like a lot of comic book people are very upset with the fact that he's not in the traditional Joker, like purple or whatever. But I think that ending
it's a great suit. It's
is
a great
so good.
suit.
And it's not like they
The dorks
aren't
could shut
lauded.
up. It looks dope.
Yeah, it looks fucking dope. It's somehow they managed to make green and red go together and not feel like Christmas. And I was like, that is a feat in and of itself. Incredible. Good job. My unsung heroes are Nikki Letterman and Kay Giorgio, or however you say it, who did the makeup for this film, because that clown makeup is really, really good. I
It's
didn't
great.
know that every single, like, due to copyright issues, you have to create a unique clown look anytime you do a clown makeup. So they had to work really hard to find something unique that was still recognizable and nostalgic, and also make it messy and look like it's done by somebody who's not actually very good at doing makeup. And I love the design. Like,
The
again,
diamonds underneath being different sizes
yes,
on each side. Yeah, it was very
yeah,
clever.
really clever, really good. I really enjoyed that. And again, like, I so I feel like the ending and like the whole trauma, honestly, it's like it's basically like trauma porn at the beginning, like up until he's dancing on the stairs and goes and shoots Murray. They feel like two completely separate films. Like, they really do. And I enjoy the later half so much more than I do the opening. Like, ugh, I don't know. You guys, I don't really like this movie, but I don't hate it as much. Like, there are other movies I hate a lot more than this. Like,
You know what it is? I like this movie a lot. Like I said, it's just I wish they didn't take it so seriously, because I could like it a lot more.
no. You know what? You know what is one of the bads on here? They promised me super rats and never delivered on that.
Actually, do you know what movie you get super rats in? It's 1917, because it's a fucking super rat that sets off a fucking mine explosion.
That's right. That's right.
There it is.
I'm still not going to watch it again. I'm good.
Fair.
I just wanted super rats in here. I also love the fact that they were like, we really want to make an anti-comic book movie, and then they have Superman, like, super rat references. We get Bruce Wayne's entire origin story, and the clown agency, which apparently exists in Gotham because there's so much work for clowns. It's called Ha-Ha's, which is obviously like a reference to The Killing Joke, where the Joker's cell number is 0801, which if you go to the alphabet, that's Ha. But come on, Ha-Ha's.
I mean, it sounds like J.D. Vance wrote it. He's like, this is the most cleverest thing I've ever written.
I mean, true. If you read his book.
I did not read his book. I will read pretty much anything.
I did.
But no, I only read things by somewhat interesting people who aren't fucking trash.
Anyway? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joey.
Adam, sorry. You go.
I was just. What was the name of the book? Because it was a movie, Hillbilly Elegy, right?
Hillbilly Elegy. Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that on Below Freeze.
It was
My
really
Couch,
funny.
the future VP story.
When my sister and I read it, we read it for a book club like 10 years ago when it came out, 12 years ago, whatever. And the two of us were totally turned off by it. And we were like, this guy's fucking sucks. Like, this is a terrible story. And everybody else around us was like, oh my God, like, I feel like I need to use my privilege in better ways now. And I was like, whoa.
Listen.
And somebody even said, they were like, I don't even know anybody that hasn't like graduated from college. And I literally had to turn to them and be like, I didn't. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I had to drop out because I couldn't afford it. And then I just started working, and like, I'm able to completely pay for my lifestyle and have a really great job without a college degree. But yeah, I didn't. And lovely person, but was so mortified the entire time because, like, I don't know. It was just very funny because I was
There's
like,
a pour in here.
yeah, and my sister was like, I think I've realized that we're just the hillbillies of this group. Like,
well, I was going to say, Britt, was this a Seattle area based thing? Because because that makes a ton of sense actually. For what it's worth, Seattle and parts of Seattle are a very hypocritical town.
So hypocritical. I love it. I love Seattle so much, but very.
Wait, hold on. So I
had
told you guys to remind me of something.
Oh yeah.
But I remembered. All right, so Dean. Talking about my 3.5-year-old son and the Joker is funny. So Adam, as you know, Britt, with your nephew, YouTube's scary. You could put something on YouTube and then all of a sudden it turns into the fucking Poppy's Pizzeria and it's horror. But there's one thing on YouTube that Dean really likes. It's like a guess a character thing. And they're like 30 minutes. And it's just like, it'll come up with a song or a dance and say which character. You pick the character. And then it goes into the story. It's great. About a week or two ago, Dean goes, he starts dancing. And Kristen goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm the Joker. I guess the Joker on the stairs was one of them. So Dean does it. So I have a video for you two that I am going to play in front of, I'll send it to you, but it's just funnier how obnoxious this is. But the kick,
the knees. Oh my God. I'm going to be honest, Joey. Your son is such a little chaotic guy that I'm not surprised that he was like that dance.
No, it tracked.
Yeah.
It tracked. Because Cole would not have done that. Dean, yes.
Dean, absolutely. Dean would be like, can I be
the
Joker for
vibes
Halloween
match.
now?
Yeah, no, that's why he's growing out his hair.
Oh my God, I can't wait. You have to send that. I got so excited that like my headphones went flying off my head just now.
I have him running around saying, Murray.
He's so not funny when he's on the show. It's so bad.
It's so
Holy
annoying.
Shit.
It's so
but that's
annoying.
amazing. No, but I think that's like in this, like I wish he was funny, but the way it's set up, like how unfunny he is like hard to do. Like he's
But like, okay, his joke, which it's bad, but it does not merit. You should not be making jokes like that, young man. Like it wasn't that offensive.
Well,
so...
it was also just stupid. Like I'm like, come on,
it was just
dude.
stupid. Like what was that reaction from that lady? Like get a life, lady.
I want to give my unsung hero.
Oh,
my unsung hero is Mark Maron, the only person who like appropriately read Arthur Fleck the entire movie. Yeah. Everybody else either just shit all over him or had no idea what they were looking at and completely overlooked all the trauma, or you either caused trauma or only saw the trauma. Mark Maron was the only one who was like, guys, what are we doing here?
Guys, I just got an idea. What if this film was only from it's a one night, right? Like one night.
One crazy night.
One shot. And it's just from Mark Maron's perspective. Like we only see things through his perspective.
Like he's walking home. He's like, I told everybody. He's like,
I told everyone. Yeah. He gets caught up in the riots at some point, like accidentally.
Oh, yes.
Yep. But then he comes home and his wife is like, what the fuck were you doing out all night? And he's like, you'd never know.
My boss got murdered. Did you not see what was happening?
She'd be like, well, you could have called.
Okay. So have we done?
Yeah, he's my unsung hero.
Before I get to mine, have we done scene and shot?
I did my scene because it was the dance into the two cops just being like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Which I loved.
Yeah.
Chasing him. And then when he got hit by the car, because the stunt was just magic.
Yeah.
My shot, there are so many great shots in this movie. Like
there are
so many good ones.
Yeah.
It really could have been anything, but I think there's a shot at the beginning of this film when Arthur is on the train and he's leaning against the window, and the window is just caked in filth and it's grimy.
That was my second.
And we can barely see Arthur through it. And I think it's one of the moments that's actually telling the audience something without having to give us a bunch of exposition to be like, Arthur, you just live in your head. It's like the one time that the audience is trusted enough to understand that we're watching this movie through Arthur's perspective, and his perspective is murky, right? Like we can't trust what's in front of us because we're not seeing it true. And I think it's great. I really like that shot.
That was my second.
Nice.
That was a great shot.
Yeah.
And then my shot was the city, shadow, that whole thing. And then my scene is the dancing with the cops watching and the chase in the subway. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
And don't forget the stunt. It's like, in one battle after another, there's one shot I really like, and it's the tree fall. That's the same thing in this movie. It's that hits hard, that stunt.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't, Britt. I can't wait to make you watch all the PTA movies. I'm now
Fuck
actually
you.
so excited to make you have to do that. It's great.
So annoyed. I keep thinking about it and getting annoyed.
When I picked it, I didn't have it, and like that, I just like PTA, and then I heard all of the things, and I was like, oh, Britt, so many PTA movies for you to have to watch.
So many to experience.
Okay, so my scene was the one with Brian Tyree Henry. My shot is kind of the same as Joey's. My unsung hero. Now, this is really, I'm going really obscure, mostly because I just want to say like how I know this guy. So my unsung hero is a guy named Jeff McCarthy. Now, by name, you probably don't know who this is. I will tell you. Now, in the movie, he is one of the cutaway guys on TV who's like a news anchor. He's actually the one who I think talks about Super Rats at some point. Very old school looking dude, right? Britt, do you know the show Urinetown?
Yes.
He was the original Officer Lockstock on Broadway. And if you watch the clip of the Tony Awards that year, he's on it. And I was like, who is that fucking guy? And then I looked it up. I was like, holy shit, that's Officer Lockstock from Urinetown.
Can I change my unsung hero to the same person? Because I love Urinetown. Oh, that's amazing.
When I heard his voice, and he's got such a deep, pretentious voice, I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
He's so good.
Now to what is becoming just one of my favorite parts of the show.
It's my favorite.
The Lock Martin Award for the most useless part of the movie. I would like to go last. I really like mine. Joey, what is your Lock Martin Award?
This is we probably have the most options here. Just because everyone's terrible, but as someone, I'm a social worker in my life, I just don't watch movies all day. The therapist in this movie is what people think therapists are, and it's absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Nobody cares about you.
No, like nobody gives a shit about you.
You're fucked. Yeah, no, like it's I think it's the first time in a movie I've been offended. Like
and it's hard to offend you like that.
I just don't care enough. Like I just do you. I've never been offended by a fucking movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. But I was like offended. Like it's just so appalling. And I was like, oh, Todd Phillips had to go to the guidance counselor in kindergarten and really just fucked up his whole life. He had a bad therapist in kindergarten.
Why are you telling me what to do?
The stupid therapist. And I did look up the name, but I am not even going to justify it. That's what you get in the Lock Martin. You don't get a fucking name.
Fair enough.
You don't get a name.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's brilliant. And I did have a little thing about how bad the dialogue is in all of those scenes. But the dialogue's bad in everything, basically.
Yeah. But it's the worst in that scene, and it feels like real brutal.
It is to the point where it's like I don't understand why we're watching this. Like it could have just ended when our sessions are ending.
Realistically, he could have gotten a letter that said, hey.
That would have been so much more.
But a bunch of idiots voted in this moron, so they cut everything, so you can't get services now.
Well, they decided not to do that because they just wanted to show Joaquin Phoenix dancing 1,000,001 times instead.
In slow motion for most.
I'm fine with the dancing.
I wish I
like
were.
This.
It's like that.
He also
gotta put your hands behind your head.
He did the thrust a lot too. You know what I mean?
He got it from a burlesque performer because that's my favorite move to do on stage. Everybody finds it hilarious.
Right from the thrust into like a pretty decent front kick.
Oh no, it is not decent. I did. I
thought he was gonna fall down the fucking stairs. It was amazing.
Well, I think he like dislocated his knee, and it was like watching the scene. I went, yeah, he did.
He like got his thigh up and then like flapped the knee. Like I've never seen anything like it. Like he couldn't even kick. Couldn't even he wouldn't be able to kick a flip-flop off with that much, but he's so aggressive, and especially right after the double thrust.
The flip-flop would just like go back in his face. Oh, it was so good.
It would like somehow like blind him.
Yeah, man, I should say that his kick is the Lock Martin, but it's not for me. It's haha the clown agency. Like, what a miserable place. The only jobs that you can get for people are holding signs for a store that's going out of business.
When the owner goes, would you just give the guy his sign back? He's like,
The guy his sign back.
I was fucking like mugged, dude. He's like, dude, give him his fucking sign back.
But also, it's for a business that's going out of business. That person is still like, what?
Hey, he needs that sign for the next time he goes out of business. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, he's already opening a new furniture store. But yeah, fuck that place.
Yeah, that place, that was dark.
Like, well, and I also like, I understand being a clown and being at an agency. I don't understand an entire agency that's just clowns in Gotham. Who knew that like clowns were that needed in Gotham? Like,
I mean, everybody was ready with the masks.
Yep,
so.
they were. Yeah, they were all a part of Ha-Ha's too at some point.
I need to give mine, but this last conversation reminded me of a couple of things that I want to ask a couple of questions. One is about the performance, and one is something that I might be reading into, and I'm going to apologize in advance before I get to that one. So with Joaquin Phoenix, he famously lost 52 pounds for the movie. And my question is this. Why?
Why?
I don't understand its relevance to the movie, like in any way.
So
are we linking it just to like when he was a kid, he was like, he wasn't treated properly, and now he doesn't know how to take care of it?
It's just I think it's just a malnourishment of all parts of the person. I don't think it's necessary, especially because, listen, it's not like, you know, people on medications can gain weight or lose weight depending, right?
Yeah,
so like you could easily have them like I think it's just like, oh man, he's never learned how to take care of himself and feed himself enough, and he's always just wanting more socially and physically, like everything. I think that's what they're going for. I don't think it's necessary. I just think that's what they're going for.
I read a couple reviews where they talked about it being an eating disorder and how like it stemmed from the abuse that he had as a child. And I was like, if it was an eating disorder, that would be kind of interesting, because I feel like we don't have depictions of male eating disorders.
That would be fascinating.
That would be fascinating. And it's something that we need to talk about, because men are just as likely to develop eating disorders.
Have you been on TikTok?
Females.
Men are pretty severely having eating disorders now.
Yes, exactly. But they didn't do that. It was just that Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips decided that he wanted to be malnourished. And so then he ate an apple a day for a summer and lost 53 pounds. And I was like, great. If a female did that, I guarantee it would be all over. Like, I mean, honestly, for good reason, Kim Kardashian was torn apart because she went on a crash diet to fit into a dress to fit into Marilyn Monroe's dress for, you know, whatever the Met Gala, right? And people were pissed about it. But then when people talk about Joaquin Phoenix in this movie, they like, Todd Phillips is like, he just lost a lot of weight by eating an apple. It was amazing. And also, we aren't talking about how detrimental that is and how like dangerous it is. Like, that is a very dangerous way to go about it. You can lose weight. You can lose 53 pounds, but maybe work with a nutritionist. Like, I don't know. Or maybe don't make that choice for the character.
Yeah.
I think it's bad.
and one other thing before I get to my Lock Martin award. And we were talking about the clown agency and Randall. 2 points in the movie, he refers to Arthur as, he goes, "You're my boy." And I'm just going to ask this question flat out. Did Randall do you think Randall did something to Arthur, like sexually? Because there are a couple of times he goes, you know, "You're my boy." And I'm like, oh no. Oh, I don't like the way he phrased that at all. Twice he says that.
I literally never picked up on that, but
no, I just thought he was just someone taking advantage.
With the way this film is, yes, absolutely. If it goes to the worst possible conclusion, and
that's
it's
kind
correct.
of okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's leave that over there because that got extra dark for no reason. Okay, my Lock Martin award.
This movie is extra dark for no reason.
So my Lock Martin award revolves around our three Wall Street bros on the subway.
Great. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a comment on the characters or on the screenplay or both, probably both. There is absolutely no way in fucking hell that one of those guys knows the lyrics to Send in the Clouds. There is just absolutely no way. He knows them perfectly. He's on pitch. He's just like he was waiting for this moment to sing Send in the Clouds.
Adam, you don't know. Maybe Gotham has a really incredible musical theater musical theater community. Maybe he does community theater. Maybe he was in A Little Night Music. Maybe he was Frederick. You don't know. Okay.
I don't. But the guy who's like badgering a woman on the subway, I kind of have a hard time thinking that these are guys who like are just in a casual Sondheim production.
You know what? If he has a good voice and there aren't very many men around, maybe he is. Okay, we're always looking for men in musical theater, and sometimes you got to be like,
that is true. But
just saying.
But like when he knew the words perfectly and had like a whole dance he was doing, I was like, okay, come on, dude.
Again,
you just got done like robbing people of millions of dollars. There's no way you know the lyrics to fucking Send in the Clouds.
I don't know. Okay. There are people in my like community theater life that are like doctors in real life, and they're like, I just do this for fun in the evenings. I'm like, why?
So now, are you now concerned of what they're doing in their evening time when they're not at rehearsal? Yes. Like, because I would be. Now I would be.
Don't take the subway home with them.
You know, and what? Now, listen. If you have more to say, this is all great. There's one question we don't ask all the time, but I want to ask it on this particular episode.
Great.
Would you rather watch Joker or The Treasure of the Sierra Madre?
Oh, Joker. Boom.
Joker.
Yeah, it's Joker. I think it's Joker too.
It's got Mike. Sorry, it's got to be Joker.
Again, I like Joker.
Which is really funny because I feel like we haven't said anything very positive about it on this episode.
No, that's not true. We talked about Joaquin's performance.
We've been positive. We've been fair.
It is aesthetically a very pleasing movie to look
gorgeous.
At.
God, the lighting. Honestly, the lighting when he's in the when he's doing really bad stand-up, amazing. I love it. I love the color scheme too. Usually I'm not into the grungy brown taupe like terracotta look, but I think it works really well here. I think they scouted really interesting locations.
Yeah. Location Scouts did a great job. That was what I wanted to be my unsung hero until Mark Maron was just like,
Mark Maron's so good.
This is a fucking problem, guys. It's a problem.
Like, what are we doing? Okay, I did have one quick thing that like I basically have gone over, you know, like I have lots of notes about the bad, right? But the media interference with this movie at the time, like, you know, and I think we must preface this by saying there was a terrible, horrific mass shooting at a Batman movie that is still something like that's very scary. And I think it's something that we need to acknowledge. When I say that the media got really intense about this film before it even came out, and there were a lot of think pieces about how it's going to incite violence, about how it's going to incite mass shootings. And I don't know, I just kind of was interested in your opinions on that because I found it like really gross and irresponsible that they were putting that out there when we hadn't really seen any evidence that that was going to be the case. Going back and looking at it, I was like, wow, that's really extreme. Like a very extreme response to a movie that I do think is dangerous in certain regards. But like, as far as I know, no mass shootings have been like connected to it.
Well, yeah, I read something that like there were like Army and National Guard officials that were put on alert about what could happen, and that and seemingly there were no direct causes of violence of the movie. You know, my only devil's advocate kind of thing to say to that was I because this movie was at the Venice Film Festival, and I just wonder
Yeah.
how many early screenings were seen before some of these pieces came out, in the sense of like having Aurora on top of your mind and what happened with the Dark Rises. Like
Yes.
it was, and oh, I don't really want to give the media like any kind of like praise, but I wonder if it was there for clicks, or if it was there for like we need to be talking about like that this movie is very like this lone gunman kind of character, and like what it could
But there
incite.
But there are a lot of movies that come out that are about that type of a thing. And I also think, I don't know, it just was one of those things in my research that I understand why they did it, but there was a point where it felt like it went from being informative towards to the audience, and then going into shock journalism, where it was like, oh, we can keep getting clicks with this, so we're going to keep running this story, right? Like and it seemed to go there.
That's probably right, but I have not looked back at it since. But my thinking of it at the time was, before I saw the movie and after I saw the movie, was people heard what the movie was about and then kind of started making stuff up. And then the movie came out, and then people who were like, oh, I'm a really nice guy, tried to really take over the movie. And then that took over the conversation, and people who didn't know what incels were became incels, became aware of it and that whole thing. And but yeah, again, I have not looked back at it in the 7 years, so I'm not, I'm talking in hindsight. But at the time, I remember thinking everything I was reading and all the talk pieces were, nobody writing this has seen it. They have heard,
that was the thing.
They have heard from someone who did see it and are now kind of, listen, I'm sure some people were doing it earnestly. I'm sure there was clicks. I'm sure like everything, it's there. But I think it led to the incels kind of taking it over.
Yes, that's how I feel too.
Well, because the violence wasn't the thing. I think it was just, the incels took over because of that. Like, I think that was the outcome of this is the scariest movie you've ever seen because of what could happen in the crowd, and just the worst people took it over. And that's where it went.
I agree. Yeah.
And again, Todd Phillips, I think, is a lot of things. I don't think his intent was for the incels to come and like own it, because I don't think anybody wants that. So I don't think
Todd
that's
Phillips
his
didn't
fault.
even know what an incel was.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's friends with Bradley Cooper. Like, that's not where he's living. So, so I don't think that's his, not his fault that he, if Elephant was taken over, I'd blame Gus Van Sant a little bit, but, I'm not blaming Phillips here. But I think it was all driven by because it can't be an overreaction if you haven't seen it. Just like the hyperbole projection, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and I don't have an answer to this. I don't, I think.
Yeah, and I haven't looked back at it, so I'm, I'm also talking many years ago. So
right, and I did for this a bit, and I mean that's in hindsight, right? At the, you know, I don't know. I know that like in Aurora, the survivors asked for it to not play there, and it didn't.
Correct.
And I think that's absolutely correct. Like,
but I think that's respectful, and I appreciate that.
That's so respectful, and I appreciate that. But I do think that the media, because the media does this, took something and spun it into this wild, wild web that now it's like.
But there's also like real media. There's also real media. Then there's like, well, I have a blog, so I'm the media too.
But this was really on real media. This was
I know, but where it I know, I'm not disagreeing with you. But that's where it really.
I'm sorry.
That's where it really spun out, though. With everybody has a platform. Like 10 years before, I don't think the same reporting from like real media, like established media, I don't think it blows up as bad as it did, because there just wasn't. Yeah. Everybody didn't have a platform 17
Not everybody had
ago.
a podcast.
Right. Or Twitter.
Yeah.
So I just think it just
or
gave
Substack.
I don't know what Substack
TikTok.
is.
Substack is just where you can like publish your essays.
Yeah,
it's great. Do we want to talk about Joker Folie à Deux? Because I did watch it for this.
I saw that in IMAX.
I really don't remember much of what happens. I mean, I know that there's some good actors in it, and there's a ton of singing and dancing. And I did not like this movie.
I did say
I didn't rewatch it. I'm not rewatching it.
don't. I'd said my letterbox review of this was somehow even more of a mess than the previous film, but with less interesting lighting. Like, that is truly how I felt about it. I was pretty upset with Harley Quinn because you've got Gaga, who's incredible, and you have her not singing at all, like well at all, just because Joaquin Phoenix can't keep up with her. At all whatsoever. And then you make her into an incel's worst nightmare, like what an incel thinks every woman is. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I thought it was really bad.
I don't have a ton to say. I got about 30 minutes listening to our episode to see if it would jog my memory, and it did not. So I don't really have much to say.
That's okay. You don't really need to. I just wanted to put that out there about that they made Harley Quinn into an incel's thoughts of what a woman is. So good job.
It was. It did not need to exist.
No, and it was just bad. And then it. Yeah. Anyways, that's that movie, and I'll never watch it again. And I'm really glad I won't.
Yeah, I did not rewatch that. I was thinking about it just so I watched Dark Knight instead.
Oh, that's a much better choice. That's a great film. I'm also really glad we never did it on 1001 by 1 by 3 because I think it would have just been the three of us going, what is there to say?
Yeah. Anything else before the last question? I'm going to take that as a sign that I think we can get to the last question. Now, I will say Todd Phillips does not have a movie in the book. The Hangover was in there at one point, but it is not in its current state. So I ask you both, should Joker be in the book of 1001 movies you must see before you die? Joey, I'm going to start with you.
Usually I have my answer, but I didn't have my answer today. But you know what? I'm going to say yes. I think it does. I think performance.
Great.
I think the way it looks. I think, you know what? I think it's a movie.
It's a movie.
No. Whatever your takeaway, it's a movie that exists in discourse. So because of that, I do think you should watch it at least once. So yes, I say yes.
And what are we pulling out to make sure that Joker is in the book?
Isn't it in the book?
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
It isn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, it's Joaquin running in the beginning after his flippity floppy sign.
Yeah. I mean, I can grab. I don't know where my book is, but I'm pretty sure it's still in the book. So there is a Todd Phillips movie in there.
I'll take it. That's my bad.
I think at least. I guess I go next.
Yes. Why not?
You know, I really struggled with this. No, I didn't. I didn't struggle with this at all. I really don't think this movie should be in the book because I just don't think it's that good. It's entertaining, but it lacks depth. And I think that I would not be true to myself if I agreed that this should be in the book. Like, let's be real.
That's fair.
So I am going to suggest a recent movie, a recent Joaquin Phoenix movie that has similar themes, but I think it has a clear thesis, and I think that it has a lot to say. And I think it's a very controversial choice because a lot of people hate this movie. But I am absolutely going with Ari Aster's Eddington.
Oh, well, that's a way better movie. Fuck.
It's so good. I do think that people are going to come back and look at Eddington and be like, we were wrong because we were uncomfortable with the way it was portraying us. And I love it. And I think honestly, I prefer his performance in Eddington to his performance in Joker. I think it's way cooler. Plus he gets to hold a minigun. So, yeah.
Eddington.
It's great. Eddington's great.
I'm not really going to do much of a response because my answer is Britt's answer in every way. It's a no for those reasons. My replacement was Eddington. I don't really have a ton to add to it. I think it's so interesting, that movie. It's a fascinating movie, and Ari Aster doesn't have a movie in the book, I don't think.
Hereditary, I think, is in the book.
Is it still? Okay, good for him. But either way,
I think, but
I'll take it. But but I just kind of echo everything that Britt said about.
I think I would put Eddington over Hereditary personally.
I would too.
I really
I would.
love.
I would.
I love
Oh, me too.
Hereditary, but I think Eddington is a better film.
I think Hereditary is number 4 for me of his movies.
Oh no, God, it's so good. I love Hereditary. Just the occult knowledge in and of itself is just perfection. Oh my God, I love it so much. I could talk about that movie for ages, but I won't because we're not talking about that.
So there we go. So that was Joker. We did it. We
did it.
Long-awaited episode. So that's 2 no's with Eddington replacements. Joey says yes. Obviously, we would love to know what you think about Joker. It's a recent-ish film, so I'm sure if you were around, you were there for the discourse. Like, do you like it? Should it be in the book? Hit us up. We're on all the socials. You can find our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And coming up next, we're getting into kind of a year-end spectacular. We're getting into our final director ranking. And Joey, what's the first movie of the only Stanley Kubrick that we will be starting this journey with?
Is it The Shining?
No, it's
I didn't look at the list.
Orange, and it's you.
Oh, it's a Clockwork Orange.
Pretty sure
it's a Clockwork Orange, guys.
Yeah.
You picked it.
I didn't remember what I picked, but I did. Yep, sounds right.
So
I can't wait. I'm going to be reading. I'm going to reread this. I'm going to reread The Shining. Ugh, I'm so excited.
So yes. So the next few episodes of the regular show will be Joey's episode, Clockwork Orange, Britt's episode on The Shining, my episode on Eyes Wide Shut, and then we will do the definitive feature-length Stanley Kubrick ranking. I believe it's 13 movies. I have a feeling that might be a behemoth of an episode.
I think that one could crack 4 hours. We might have to have a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah,
it might. That might be how it goes. But the Kubrick ranking is coming up. This was Joker. But until next time, I am Adam.
I am Britt.
And I continue to be Joey.
And we will see you for A Clockwork Orange.